gets this video is very lucky. Literally had this dream recently, and it's not so much a warning. It's not so much a warning for those who are on the good side and do good and are pure-hearted and are preparing and have been preparing for what's to come. The current system we're living in, everything like that is basically over. Okay, I'm happy to tell you all that it's basically over, but before it's over, y'all, before it's officially over, a lot of things have to happen in place to to make it happen. Basically, like a lot of things have to crumble in order for this to really be done. Now, I was shown a lot. So I'm not really sure how to say certain things on camera, especially with YouTube, but I'll try my best, you know what I'm saying? So, there was multiple times in the dream where, you know, specific locations in America, around the world, were, the biggest earthquake ever. Things were on fire from the front to the back of buildings, on fire, people being burned alive. Very graphic, very intense. And a couple weeks ago, I did see somebody in the spiritual community talk about, why do we hear noise in the ground and things of that nature. And there's been different accounts of people seeing certain things. And I thought it was just me. You know what I'm saying? I really thought it was just me that thought these things. But then when I did some research, I was like, wow, it's not just me that thinks this or feels this or has noticed this. So there's going to be a lot of so I'll put it this way. This is basically going to lead up to the revealing, like a domino effect, like a Pandora's box situation, where when one box opens, the next box opens, the next box opens. It's going to be nonstop, okay? Nonstop, from politicians to CEOs, the masterminds behind a lot of like the satanic, demonic activity. It's over for them. Okay, I'm just gonna put it that way. It is like over. They're going to literally burn alive. Like, I saw it. And for those who are not awake, not aware, not in prayer, they're going to be suffering financially, economically. I will put that out here, okay? So, the warning is not really for us, it's actually for them, because their time is up, okay? And I'm really happy to say that. But because their time is up, you all, there's going to be a significant chain of events that cannot be stopped now. It cannot be stopped, and it's going to keep happening, keep happening, keep happening. And I was actually telling someone obviously very close to me this morning that I would not be surprised that it gets so bad to the point where people just stop working. People literally stop working, because once what's revealed is revealed on a global scale and people see it and they can't turn away from it, and it's barbaric what they've been doing to children, and they can't escape it. They're not going to have anywhere else to hide, you all. Okay, so I repeat, this is it's over. Like, once what comes out, drip drip drip, on a big scale, global scale, they have nowhere to hide. All their dynasties, all their children's children that are wrapped up in this, that are older and are controlling these rings and are controlling all this stuff, their time is up. Okay, their time is completely up. And it's wild, because before I went to sleep, obviously I pray, and I kind of always know, like, when something is gonna happen to me. And so the fact that, like, I had my alarm set, my alarm didn't go off, I didn't hear it, and I was in this vivid dream, but I can't even call it like a dream does not do what I saw justice. And for those of you that have followed me and have, been subscribed to me for a while now, this is not my first rodeo, okay? I just want to put this out here for those who maybe have never seen me or never, watched a video of mine. This is not my first rodeo. I predicted a lot of stuff. I have given warning messages for a long time now, right? Like for maybe even decades I've been doing this. Now, I mean, not a decade just yet, but at least 4 or 5 years at least now I've been doing this on, publicly for you all, and helping people. And I've personally got message from people, all these years telling me, thank you for that message. Thank you for that video, because I was able to save my life. I was able to save save my family, when I predicted cyclones and earthquakes and natural disasters and not so natural disasters and other stuff like that. So when I feel prompted to give a maybe short message, but a straight to the point message, I will, and if I don't feel prompted, I will keep it to myself as instructed, and I will just tell my close loved ones. So all of you that are watching this video right now, especially live, you're very lucky, because if you just break down what I'm saying in code, you'll get what I'm trying to say, but I can't say it in a certain way, right? Because YouTube. So there's major companies wrapped up in this. I saw at least two major companies. I saw at least one major U.S. state, and I will say it, California was the first one I heard. And from there, it's gonna spread, you all. It's gonna spread like wildfire. There's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to hide. Certain people are gonna be burned alive. Okay. There will be casualties. There will be innocent people, sadly, that I do think get wrapped up in this as well. That's why I'm telling you from now to save your money. Okay, save money. So what I was shown as well is like, right, like the people that are not maybe spiritually enhanced or spiritually aware, they're the ones who are not even going to be able to afford gas. Okay, there's going to be situations for certain people where they can't afford gas, they can't afford an apple, not a bunch of apples, one apple. They're going to be so down on their luck, right? That they're going to be, like I'm sure in any major US city or state, right? To some degree, we've all seen, especially, in the city area, metropolitan area, a lot of us have seen people asking for money, right? Like when you stop at any red stoplight, right? Just gonna put it in context for you all. You stop at a red light and, you see people asking for money. Well, it's gonna be bigger than that, way bigger than that. It's going to be a situation where it's everywhere. It's everywhere. You can't escape it. You go outside and people are begging for gas money. People already have been doing that, but now it's like they're desperate. They have no money. So you're going to have to learn how to tell people certain things that maybe you didn't think you would have to before. You're going to have to, move in certain ways that you never thought you had to before, because people are desperate. Okay, I'll put it that way. So what's also going to be revealed is that these innocent, children and people that have been taken into captivity, they've been used for everyday things that, no one would suspect it. You know what I'm saying? No one would suspect it. And I've never had a message like this. I've never had a dream like this, and it was so timely. It's been so timely to what I feel, and it makes so much sense. When I woke up, I was like, "Oh my God." So that's why I was shown that, like, and so it's wild. It's really wild, you all. But these people who have been, the evil masterminds behind all this, they know their time is up, you all. They know it, they feel it, and they're scared. They're scared, but yet they keep doing it. They won't confess to it, they won't turn to God for it, but they keep doing it, and they're running the world off of this type of stuff. And that's why I'm saying to you all, it is going to be global. Okay? It's going to spread like wildfire. And once what needs to come out is going to come out. And yes, there's politicians, of course. I'm thinking you are thinking, is there any politician? Of course. It's you know, what do we always say on this channel, right? They're all in bed together, right? They're all in bed together. They're all in bed together. Even the ones that act like they hate each other, they're all in bed together. Remember, the wealthy, the evil wealthy stick with the evil wealthy. Okay, so don't be fooled. All right. So yeah, and there was major companies. There was like at least two major companies I heard distinctively. I'll give the initial. The first one was starts with a D, and the second one starts with an E. Okay, that's as far as I can go. And they will be under. They will be so asunder. They will not recover. So it is over, you all. It is like this is it. Okay, this is it. So when you start to see more earthquakes, when you start to see, you know, a high level of magnitude of casualties and, you know, the water, being polluted and all this type of stuff, please do not be shocked because it's time for the truth to be revealed. And once that Pandora box, that major Pandora box is opened and other boxes open from that one box, there's nowhere to hide, you all. Like, I want you to really understand what I'm trying to say. There's nowhere to hide. Like, when the buildings all collapse, when everything's in flames, when people stop going to work, you know, not because they're lazy, but because they're against the system, okay? They're against what their companies and corporations stand for, what they pay money to, what they do behind closed doors is what's going to push people to stop working. So the media, listen carefully, the media is going to spin it like they're lazy, right? They don't want to work for a certain wage. BS. When this goes global, okay, when this goes global, there's nowhere to hide. Everybody's gonna know what's happening. Everybody's gonna know what's going on. So all these like mini historical dates and events and all that, I would not be surprised if that all comes to an end as well, you all. You know, there's going to be a lot of stuff that is supposed to happen and supposed to be on, but once the drip 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 happens and it's like a chain reaction, the veil is going to be so lifted, right? That people are just going to have, they're just going to say, I've had enough. Like, I'm laughing, you all, and I'm smiling. Excuse me if you guys don't know my personality, because what I was shown was so crazy. Like, when I woke up, I had to like stop myself and I was like, wait, what was I just being shown here? Why, like, what is happening? And then as I sat in meditation and I broke, every scene down that I saw, I said, oh, it makes perfect sense. I see exactly what's happening now. So, you know, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that these evil people that have done all this damage are 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 coming to a close. It's an amazing thing. But what I will say is that because of that, there's going to be things that are set in place. There's going to be things that are going to be happening along the way that could be detrimental to the average, woman or man, right? Financially, especially, you know, um, if there's no clean water, clean food to eat, things like that, right? Innocent people may be affected depending upon where you live, depending upon the severity of people being so angry, so destitute, so desperate, the crime, things like that, is going to depend. So you're going to have to pray about that. You're going to have to check within your own gut, how bad it's going to be for where you live, for your state, for your family, and plan accordingly. Okay. Plan accordingly. But this is no joke. Like, what I like, okay, let's take, for example, how can I say this? Let's take, for example, like September 11th, right? You know, the horrible, horrible tragedy, planned tragedy that they put on people, and it caused people to have depression, lose their loved ones. Okay. I, the energy that I got in my dream is like that times 40. because it's global now. This is not just New York. This is not just California. You get what I'm saying? So there is nowhere to hide for the wicked, for the wicked. If you're a good person, God will have your back. Like I want to put that in here, okay? If you know God and you know you're a pure soul, you're a good-hearted person. Maybe you don't know God fully, but you put your trust in God. You would never harm a person, right? You would never harm an animal. You would never harm anybody intentionally or not intentionally. You just would not do it. You're going to be fine. Okay? You're going to be fine. But the people that have had I'll put it this way, a wonky road with God, and they're not as transparent, they're mischievous in nature, they are rebellious in nature, they commit adultery, they commit violence, domestic, mentally, spiritually, physically. They're not a good person, basically. They're going to be the ones that are going to be destitute and desperate. So those are the people that are going to be infested with I'll put it this way, with demons, demonic forces, and they're the ones who are going to be trying to come to people that have light, that are prospering, okay? Because let's put it this way, people can prosper that are not evil as well, but that's not really talked about. But there's a lot of people who are prospering who are on the good side, like myself. And so it's people that are not prospering, that are on the bad side, that are going to want to come to people like you and me, and they're going to be trying all types of stuff. So I'm just letting you know from now, okay? I'm trying my best to break it down in a way that is simple to understand and hear, because if I just told you all straight out, frame by frame of the dream and the chaos that I saw, that's not going to help you all prepare, right? That's not going to help you guys really achieve anything. So I rather tell you all the result of what I saw and what's going to happen than just tell you all a horror story that there's no meaning to that. There's no meaning to just saying a bunch of scary stuff, right? And that's not my intent either. My intent is to get you all prepared. My intent is for you all to understand that the time is winding down like you would not believe. And so this is your confirmation, okay? This is your confirmation that everything that you thought people didn't see, didn't realize, didn't recognize. It's like, for example, have you all ever heard about underground cities? How these rich people, Uber. Now, I wish I could use a better word for rich, because it's not really they're rich. They just are manipulative and evil. So I wish we had a different term for those kind of people besides wealthy. Um, you know, I'll say the evil masterminds, right? They got their bunkers, they got their, underground cities and towns and all that. That's all gonna come to light, you all. Like I'm excited for that. Like it's coming, okay? It's coming. And I feel that people that used to work with, yes, and CEOs. There's one CEO coming to my mind right now. You know, the letter E is predominant because I heard it when I woke up and I wrote it down. Anyway, so yeah, like people like that, they got their contraptions to go to trying to go to different planets and different systems and all. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's done, it's up, time is up. Like it's not gonna happen. Because why? Because God is bigger than that. That's why. God is bigger than anybody with any contraption, any bunker, any underground city, any victim system where they trap people and kidnap people. God is bigger than all of that, y'all. So it's not going to last long. In fact, it's lasted too long. It's lasted too long. And especially when kids are involved, especially when kids are involved, God is so angry about that. God is so heartbroken about that. And that's why all this is happening. So when you hear certain coded language on the television, understand the truth behind what they're saying. They use a lot of stuff to divide us. They use a lot of language like immigration and stuff like that to separate the haves and the have nots. That's not the case, okay? A lot of these people and situations that are brewing underneath, they're being they're being used for a lot of things that, we would never have access to understand, but it's going to come out, okay? And once it comes out, and God just does what he does, and you know, and when I say he, God is not a he or she, okay? But it's just an easier way to reference it. It's the alpha, the omega energy. I actually hate saying he because or she, whatever, because it doesn't fit the description of the alpha and omega energy. But what I'm trying to explain to you all is the time is up for these people. So when you're counting your pennies, y'all, when you're looking at your account balance, when you're trying to figure out how you're gonna buy groceries and pay your car, let me tell you something. God is seeing it all. I'm here to tell you, God is seeing it all. And enough is enough. Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. So you just have to trust, okay, that the evil don't win. The evil in the end are not going to prosper, okay? They're not prospering right now because how can you prosper when you can't even sleep at night because of all the people that you've hurt and mismangled? How can you sleep with a true soul and spirit and body and soul, mind and truth when that's what you do for a living? That's what you do behind closed doors to get what you want to get achieved. And they know who I'm speaking to. They could be even watching, one of them, I don't know. But you have to understand, and maybe people are watching that are victims of this. I'll put it this way. Maybe there's people in the spiritual community who are watching right now. I know who you are. And maybe you're a victim of this. And you're ready to tell your story. And your story is going to be heard. You hear me? You're not a victim, you're a victor. A lot of people have been taken, you all. A lot of people have been taken. And some are celebrities. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot, you all. That's why I said that I have to say it in a certain way. I can't just drop it heavy on y'all. I have to just, you know, they're captive. They're captive. So do what you do best, you all, which is be a happy person, be a healthy person, protect your family, protect your energy, protect yourself, okay? Don't let anybody out here get to you. Because a lot of these people out here, what they call them NPCs, they're not even real people with a soul. They're not, you know. They're not their soul is not at peace, you all. These people, their soul is not at peace. And so there's a big difference. There's a big difference between people who have a soul and they're at peace and they don't have no crazy ancestral, you know, bad blood. Like, there's a difference, I'm just gonna put it out here. There is a big difference. And so, you know, maybe you're watching me right now and you're like, man, I know people in my family who've done that. Man, I know a couple people who do, going to jail. And well, you need to pray, man. You need to try to get them saved. You need to pray. You need to do something because judgment is here. All right. That's the message. I love y'all. Whoever receives it, receives it. I don't really care about what people think in general. When I have a message to deliver, when I have a mission to complete, when I have a trigger warning in my gut that tells me make a video, get this out here before it's too late, that's what I do. That's what I've always done on my channel, and I will continue to do as long as YouTube is still active in the internet sphere. And I do what I do, and I want to encourage all of you good people to do what you do. Don't let these hard financial economic times, recession, all this inflation, all this war, all this, don't let it get to your soul. I'm not even going to say spirit. Don't let it get to your soul. You've got to know who you are, and you've got to know who God is for you. And I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about the Alpha and Omega. I'm not talking about no religion, no book. I'm talking about the I am, right? And the source power that you have within yourself to know the difference between right and wrong. And so if you're being straight to do wrong, stop it in its tracks right there and make a U-turn. It's not too late. If you've been living wrong, it's not too late. Because I don't want you to be one of those people I saw in my dream that were begging for pennies. And because they're living in sin and because they're living low down, they can't even put gas in a car. They don't even have a car, some of them. Like, and not because they can't work, but because it's been taken from them. Because they're not living right, they're not responsible. So I'm trying to tell you all, like, there's more important things that we got to do before then. We've got to live right. We've got to get right. Because once everything collapses and the rest of us, whatever happens after that, I mean, certain holy books do talk about it, but I'm not going to speak on that because only God knows. Only God knows the truth from the beginning to the end. So I'm not going to, push one kind of thing out here when it could be anything. You see what I'm saying? So we just have to be in a state of awareness that it is over. Okay. It is over. And more people are awake than I think most people think. And it's at this point now where people are really beginning to wake up and ask themselves, the big questions like, why are we doing what we do? Why do we have to work 5 days a week or even 6 days a week or even 7 days a week? People are putting two and two together and it's a beautiful thing. But like I said, you know, once that box is open and the drip, drip, drip happens, and you see all these crazy things in response to it, like earthquakes and stuff like that, and then, the buildings are collapsing and people are burning alive and there's high casualty. I mean, once you start to see it just play out, I would be surprised that there's even a thing called work. I'll put it that way. So you all put two and two with that last message right there. All right. Love y'all. Bye.